All right, so today we're going to go over lead generation. I'm going to help you understand lead generation in a more practical way, right? So we understand leads and we're like, I want leads, but there's a progress in the sequence that our leads have to go through our customers, right? We're trying to get people interested in our service as real estate professionals, but we have to take them through a certain sequence, a certain progress in order for them to understand us. So I'm going to walk you through that. And if you've been through my presentations before, they're all over YouTube and just about, you know, they're all over the internet. So you always hear me talk about lead generation in three phases. These are the three core concepts, right? There are other phases, but this three here, this is the core that I want you to understand. So you got cold, you got warm, and you got hot, right? So how can we break this down into a way that makes more sense, right? In general, clients, customers, they're going to go through a sequence, right? And they have a certain awareness. So cold, right? They're normally unaware, right? So most of us were out there like, hey, come buy a house, hey, come buy a house, hey, come buy a house, or hey, come sell a house, hey, come sell a house, hey, come sell a house. And that customer or that prospect is they're cold because they're not really interested in the benefits of buying or selling a house, right? So they're considered cold. The next phase is warm, right? So this is where people are considering buying or selling a house, right? And in this phase, they're generally open to it, right? That's why they're warm. They're not cold, right? And then in the next phase, they're hot. So this is where they're ready to like make that commitment and they're searching for like a particular uh, service or product, right? And in instance, it could be you, right? So we're going to go through this. I'm going to break this down in a way that makes sense, right? So let's do, I'm going to gather some stuff for you and I want you to I just want you to understand it, right? So I'm going to grab this shape here. And in the cold phase, right? In the cold phase, these people are generally, a good way to put it is these people are generally, they are unaware and they are problem aware, right? So that's supposed to say problem. These people are generally unaware and they're generally unaware of the problem, right? Which is we're aware because we're the professionals. Oh my God, you need to buy a house. We're aware of that, but in general, they are not aware, right? They're just living their lives on social media, on Facebook, you whatever. That's where they are. So this is cold traffic. Generally, you have to expose the problem to them. Why is it a problem that I'm renting out a house, right? Next, we're gonna move over to warm. So I'm gonna duplicate that, and this over here, this is warm. And once you've made them aware of their problem, right, you then have to offer them a what? A solution, right? So generally, warm leads are solution aware, right? So problem aware, solution aware. And then when you get over here, hot, we're going to duplicate this. They are generally product or service aware, right? So they're looking for a product or in our case, a service. That's what they're looking for, right? So problem, solution, service, right? This is where they're looking for the product, the service, the end result. And this is where they're hot. They're willing to work with you, right? So that's generally how lead generation works: cold, warm, hot. Now, let me break this down, right? So we have this graphic, this nice little graphic. Let me break this down for you, right? You hear me talk about funnels all the time. So we're going to turn this into an actual funnel so you can understand in more concept, right? So generally, when you're dealing with most people, they're going to come through and they're going to be cold like that, right? So let's make that wider, right? That's cold. And let's actually make that dark. All right, so this is the cold traffic. That's generally what it looks like. It's cold. And what are they? Sorry. They are problem aware, right? That's one part of the funnel. Let's put it over here, right? That's blue. Then we have warm. So let's make it, right? We're going to turn this into a funnel live. So warm. This is what warm looks like. That's what warm looks like, right? And let's just, for the sake of this presentation, let's make it a little bit smaller, right? And they are generally looking for what? Solution. Then we have hot. And they are generally looking for a product or a specific service, right? So this is a funnel. You can see here it starts to form a funnel, right? So problem is blue, solution is, let's turn that to, change that color, yellow, right? That's the solution. And then we got the service or product. We're going to turn that red. So problem, solution, service. This is what a funnel looks like. We got a line here. So we've taken that. And one thing you have to understand is that in general, you're going to get, let's make this a little bit proportional. In general, you're going to get a lot of leads in, right? And most of them are going to be cold. You're making them problem aware, but they're not ready. They're not committed. They might not like you. It can be a variety of reasons, but you get bulk of your traffic through here. Most of them are going to come in and they're going to be cold. Then you got your warm traffic, and they're going to be people that go through here and they're going to stay cold. Some people are just going to opt out and leave your funnel. Then you're going to have some warm people, right? So let's go over here. Let's find some elements. These are your cold people, right? They're annoyed. Like, what? Blah, blah, blah. What are you talking about, right? What is this guy talking about? I don't care about buying or selling a house. He's annoyed, right? Then you've got your warm, right? So we're going to go back to our elements. In our warm traffic, they become a little more interested, okay? It's interesting what he's talking about. So I'm going to make him yellow, right? This is yellow, and they're interested in what we're talking about. A little bit interested, right? He looks a little bit interesting. Right? And then we got hot down here. These are the people. Those are the leads we want, but we don't take people through the sequence, right? And we say this business doesn't work, this stuff doesn't work. Well, it's not that the stuff doesn't work. We have to take them through a certain sequence. We have to warm them up. That's where that term comes from, right? So go back over here to my elements, and we need to warm them up, right? When we warm them up, guess what? They're open to doing business with us, right? They're open to doing business with us. So that's the sequence. Cold, warm, hot. This is what a funnel generally looks like. You got your problem here, right? This is what most of us are doing, and this is where most of us are getting stuck. This is why you need so many leads, because all of the people that come through, they're going to be cold. Most of them are going to be cold. They're not ready to do business with you yet. They're not even aware of the problem that they have in needing to buy or sell a house. Right? Once they are, though, they come down to this warm phase you see down here, and then they're looking for a solution. Well, what's the solution? Right? If it's so bad for me to rent a house, what is the solution? Well, the solution is you should buy a house. Okay, how do I do that? Right? How do I do that is the next phase. You need a product or service. You need my services. You need me as a real estate professional. I'm going to help you do that, right? I'm going to help you do that. And we're squeezing this down because we don't get as many leads, but these are good leads, right? So cold, warm, hot, you get a lot of leads here. You lead squeeze down, then you get your hot leads here. So when I was in real estate, I had a mentor. He would always tell us about the 100 house rule, right? So what is that 100 house rule? We're going to write that out, right? So let's do a square here. This color will be, let's do green. So the 100 house rule is basically, right? I'm gonna rephrase what he was telling me because it was 100 houses, but now I understand it's not about the house; it is about the person, right? It's about the leads. So the 100 house rule is you need 100 houses, you need to go through 100 leads to get one, right? So here you would start with 100, right? On this phase, you need 100, right? You need 100 houses to get a deal. So you're gonna go through 100 here, right? And let's make that a little bit smaller. Let's leave it like that, right? Of those 100, how many are going to come out? Can you guess? How many interested or warm leads are going to come out? Well, guess what? 10, right? So when I was doing it, look, he was like, you need 100, you need to go through 100 good leads to get 10, right? And this is like the door knocking, pounding the pavement scenario, right? This is generally when you're going through cold traffic, right? It's like, look, you're going to do 100, you're going to get 10 out of that 100, and then guess how many you're going to get out of that 10 that are interested in actually doing business with you? I think you can kind of see a theme here. It's going to be one, right? So this is actually on par with the National Association of Realtors, right? I'm going to pull it up. The National Association of Realtors said you get 0.4, right? So I'm going to pull it over for you, right? This is what that looks like. National Association of Realtors estimates that the average real estate lead conversion rate is 0.4 to 1.2%, right? So this is actually on par with that, because if we take this 100 houses here and we get 1% of 100, what is it? It's about one, right? It's about one. And the National Association of Realtor, this data, this information here, it proves that, right? It even goes even lower, 0.4 to 1.2%, right? So it's safe to say that you get a 1% conversion out of these 100 leads. So again, a lot of time we come in, oh my God, this is not working. It's not working. It's not that it's not working. It's that we don't understand the math, or we're not doing something correctly, right? We need 100 leads to get 10 warm leads, and then of those 10, one will come, right? Hey, I'm ready to do business. So this is how it works. And if we have a firm understanding of how this works, we can do better in our business. So this is for you to understand lead generation. Take a screenshot of this picture. If you're one of my students, you will get there will be a PDF in your member section of this particular slide. But this is lead generation, understanding the temperatures and how it boils down, how this stuff breaks out, right? How this serves your business, right? So understanding lead generation. My name is Jerome Lewis. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the inside. Bye bye.